Hello and welcome to Victoria's Cantina, where today we're having a look at the Hasbro Star Wars The Black Series number 69 Rebel Trooper. I actually got this as part of a freebie bag that I got when I was leaving the Hasbro Entertainment Preview Breakfast for San Diego Comic-Con 2018. I was super ecstatic that this is what they were giving away because I don't think it's really in stores yet, so that made me super happy to be able to bring it home. And it's been a while since we've done a Star Wars review, and part of the reason is that there's just been so much of the Mattel Jurassic World line that's been coming out consistently over the last few months. And as you guys know, I'm obviously very heavily into that. And the other thing is that based on the numbers, you guys haven't really been watching the Star Wars videos when I do publish them. But you know, I'm in a Star Warsy mood, so here's the Rebel Trooper. Amazing. This is a figure that I've been wanting them to do for a really long time, so I'm really glad that it's here. Packaging, more of the same, a typical Black Series. Image of a more distinguished looking trooper there at the bottom. I guess it's supposed to be the same guy. At the back, there's the image, and it says, drawn from many homeworlds and species, Rebel Troopers were the Alliance's front-line soldiers in the war against the Empire. They defended the Alliance's leaders on countless worlds, enduring many operations, changing uniforms and tactics to meet each challenge. All right, I'm going to go ahead and spend a little bit of time get this guy unboxed. When we come back, we'll take a closer look. Okay, so here's the Rebel Trooper out of the packaging, and this is a really good looking figure. From the face to the proportions of the body, this is looking quite great. Just a really nice looking silhouette, the clothing, the way that it lays on his body, it just really captures a realistic aesthetic, which I appreciate. Hasbro is continuing to get away from that really glossy plastic that they used to use really heavily, which really cheapens the look. And here we have a more matte look, and that's another thing I really appreciate. It really helps the realism. Let's go ahead and take a close-up look at the figure's head. So I'm not sure if this is based off of Rogue One or if it's based off A New Hope. I don't know this specific actor or the specific trooper. I assume that it is based off of one of the characters in the film, just like what they did with the Death Squad commander, the Death Star Trooper, making that based off of an actual person from A New Hope. I assume that they did the same thing here. I'm just not sure which film it was from. Obviously, it's a middle-aged looking guy, but it looks great. It's got the photoreal print tech, and I think that it's been wonderfully applied to this figure. Paint looks really clean. Eyes look really nice. The eyebrows, the hair, just really nicely sculpted. I really like that shaggy 1970s sort of look with the long sideburns. It works really well. And if you look at the hair, you'll actually notice that it's not just like one flat gray color. There's actually some browns intermingled in there. And there's even a little bit of a gloss. Depending on how you angle it, you can see a little bit of gloss in the hairs, which I think really helps to create the realistic look. Skin tone is very nice, matches the hands quite well. Rest of the body looks really nice. Again, they're using this more subdued looking plastic that isn't overtly glossy. And here at the arms, you can see that the shirt is nicely done. It's got a collar right there. There's underneath the shirt. You can see that the vest is sculpted separately. And overall, it has a nice look to it. Really nice folds and wrinkles, and I dig that. Good detail here at the bottom, I might add, of the vest. Here's his belt buckle. Nice and clean. You can see his belt right there. It's connected to his holster. Holster looks pretty good. Here are his pants, basically just like a really light gray sort of color. And the boots are very glossy, which I'm totally cool with because, I mean, it's the boots. And this might be accurate to the films. It's a really nice looking figure overall. I'm really liking the aesthetics here. This looks phenomenal. As far as articulation goes, so we do have a ball joint here at the top of the head. You can rotate side to side, up a little bit, down a little bit. I don't know if it's just my figure or maybe the joint's just tight. He hasn't been loosened up enough yet, but it doesn't really stay down. It kind of goes back up. You can kind of cock it over just a little bit to the sides. Here at the shoulders, he's got ball hinging. But get this, he's also got joints in there. I mean, those kinds of butterfly joints you would see like on a Figuarts or a Mayfax. So that's pretty sweet. that Hasbro did that. Hopefully they're going to continue to do that on a lot of figures, especially these trooper type figures, which I think it's especially important, or even Jedi type figures. That's really unexpected and really awesome. Ball hinges at both of the elbows. You can see that it does go more than 90 degrees. You don't need a double joint, a double bend on figures if you can get this much movement from a ball hinge. It's more aesthetically pleasing, and that is more than enough movement there. You'll see a ball joint here at the torso. It is very tight. I can't really do a whole lot with it because it is a really tight joint. I mean, up and down, and you can tilt it over a little bit, which helps with posing. Here at both of the hips, you get your insert molded connections. So those go out like this. You can do a split almost. Not quite a complete split, but definitely enough of a split. Rotations at the upper thighs. You get your double bends here at the knees. Very nice. And here at the ankles, they go up, they go back, and you got the pivot on there as well. So overall, greatly articulated. I wish I had a little bit more movement with the head, but other than that, I am quite happy with all the joints here. In terms of accessories, the Rebel Trooper comes with his helmet, and I kind of feel like it has almost like a pink hue to it. Like, I don't know, maybe they cast it in this kind of weird plastic or something, but it almost feels like it has like a pink hue to it. Strap right there. I guess that's the shield, the blast shield, or the visor there. I don't know if that's supposed to slide down. I don't think we ever saw it slide down in the films. Antenna, and to get it on his head, you just do that, and it fits pretty nicely. Seems to be pretty secure on his head, and you can still turn it side to side, which is cool. You also get the Rebel Trooper Blaster, and this is looking pretty nice. It's got some nice black plastic that isn't really glossy or anything, and then it's got the silver highlights, which I think turned out quite nice. So he does have his holster right here, but you will notice that the vest is kind of in the way. So I guess the best thing you can probably do is maybe kind of pull the holster out and just kind of get it in there. And maybe, I guess, if you wanted to tweak it a little bit, you could put it underneath the vest like that. I don't really like the way that looks. So yeah, it's a little tricky. You just kind of got to work with it a little bit. But I think just having it in there like that, I mean, even if that doesn't look perfect either, I mean, I guess that's better though than just having this bulge coming out from the side of his vest. On the right hand, the figure does have a trigger finger, so we'll slide it in there. Goes in perfectly. No trigger finger on the left hand, but if you wanted to get it in there, I mean, obviously you could do that. You just wouldn't have him holding the trigger. And one of the biggest surprises here is that the figure comes with the Death Star plans as seen in Rogue One: A Star Wars Story. And this is really cool. I think they did a really nice job creating this, because we didn't really see it very clearly in A New Hope. I'm not so sure that it looked exactly like this, but in Rogue One they spruced it up a little bit so it didn't just look like a floppy disk. This looks pretty nice. I like the little silver medallion there, or whatever that is, all the little details, really tiny little details, but they capture them very well. So this is really fun. And the figure holds the plans quite well, so that's solid. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so there you have it. This is the Hasbro Star Wars The Black Series number 69 Rebel Trooper 6-inch action figure. Overall, you guys, I am really, really digging this figure. It's an awesome figure, one that I've been wanting for a really long time, so I'm super happy that we finally have him in the Black Series line. Now, although there are many strong points about this figure, there are some imperfections. It's not a perfect figure. I do really love the sculpt. I think that it has a great looking head, really nice facial paint, really good realism, the proportions of the body, the way that the clothes drape on the body, all that looks excellent. The articulation, for the most part, that works quite well. I really love the butterfly joints. That was really unexpected, but they're there and it's awesome. However, the head doesn't really move that much. And again, it could just be that the joint is stiff and I need to kind of work with it a little bit to loosen it up. I also don't really like how the blaster fits into the holster, because it's kind of not a good fit when you have the vest that's kind of pushing at it, or if you put it under the vest,
Obviously, you can't see the blaster, and then you just have a bulge there. So I might need to work with that a little bit too, see what I can do. Other than that, the articulation is solid. The accessories are great. I love the helmet. I love how they gave him the Death Star plans. That's amazing. Overall, it's a really solid figure. Easily one of the better Black Series figures, and one you definitely got to pick up. I really hope that Hasbro does a version that has a different head sculpt, because I really feel like that's essential. We want to army build these, but we don't want clones of the same exact guy. So maybe we'll see that in a multi-pack or something down the road. Alright my friends, I hope that you've enjoyed this video. If so, do give us a like, do subscribe. Let me know your thoughts down below. Be sure to follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Subscribe to Cantina Chatter on iTunes. If you're so inclined, we do have a Patreon page. It's linked down below. We will be doing a giveaway once we hit 5 patrons. As always, I'd like to thank you for tuning in to Victoria's Cantina. Until next time, bye-bye.